The late great soccer player Pele once said, "Success is not an accident. It's hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, and sacrifice, and particularly loving what you're doing in the moment." My question for you is, are you finding joy in that hard work and sacrifice in the things that are most important to you in your heart? Hi everyone, Chris Natzke here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your Mind of a Champion tip of the week. Quite a while ago, I had one of my old martial arts students and friends ask me in this weekly blog to comment on the idea of sacrifice. And when I was thinking about this, I thought there's one thing about that word that really holds true to me. It's that the root of the word is sacred. The root of the word sacrifice is sacred. And so, I began to think about all of the things that I've experienced, the accomplishments that I've been able to attain during my life, the positive things that have happened. And generally speaking, where I was putting in the most intensive work and have made the most sacrifice, those were the moments in my life that were the most important to me. Those are the ones where I felt the most gratification. I felt the most pride in what I had done. And, when you look at this word, sacrifice, as sacred, you can see it in so many other aspects of our world. It's the single mom who sacrifices her downtime and rest time to maybe even work a second job so she can keep a roof over her kids' heads and keep them fed. It may be the teacher who is sacrificing her own time, energy, and money to buy supplies for her kids in her classroom because they are not able to afford it themselves. It may be the first responder that runs headfirst into danger and possibly sacrificing their own lives in order to keep others safe. And it may be all of those people in your life who have sacrificed for you to help you get where you are today. You see, when we look at sacrifice from that sacred perspective, now all of a sudden it becomes a joyful activity. It becomes something that we want to do versus have to do. And when we are able to lean in to that sacrifice and find joy in it, what we find is we learn about ourselves in a whole different way. We learn many times whether it's a sacrifice in our effort towards something or if it's a sacrifice for somebody else, we learn more about ourselves when we look at something and we commit ourselves to something bigger than ourselves. I love Tony Robbins' quote. He says, people are awarded in public for things they've been doing for years in private. Those personal sacrifices that we're making, the practices that we're doing, the discipline that we're bringing into our lives. The other statement is, it took me 15 years to become an overnight sensation, right? People don't see the sacrifice and the hard work, but you know it, and you know the joy of it during that process if you choose into it, and then the pride that you have at the end of that journey. So my question for you is this week, how can you look at maybe some of the activities that you're taking part in, where you're right now sacrificing for something that you want or something that you want to attain or for someone that you love and you're caring for? And how can you flip that around? How can you change your perspective to really bring joy to that sacrifice, knowing that your efforts, your time, your energy, your money, whatever it is, are being invested in something bigger than you that you can take pride in the future? So anyway, folks, that's what I had for you today. Where do you have an opportunity to lean into the joy of sacrifice? So this has been Chris Natzke with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching, and we'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.